Hi, welcome to Cinema Recaps. In this video, I will be summarizing a sci-fi television series titled Moonhaven. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. About 200 years in the future, people are living in a dystopian society. The Earth is in a dilapidated state. Resources are limited and pollution is extremely high. Most of the water resources are contaminated. Even basic food is a rare commodity. Oxygen levels in the air are exceedingly low. Decades earlier, a group of humans were sent to the moon with an artificial intelligence system called Io, with the aim of creating a sustainable society and develop effective technology to help save the Earth. 3 generations past, these moon people have successfully established a magnificent society favorable to human life and full of resources. It is named Moonhaven. Mooners live there a lavish life, while the people on Earth are still suffering from the planet's horrific circumstances. One night in the Moonhaven, a girl named Chill steals a unique device and runs away. But she is soon caught by her own lover, Strigo, who kills her after retrieving the device from her. The next morning, 2 patrolling police officers named Arlo and Paul find the body of a murdered girl in an open area. With the help of advanced tracking device, they identify her as Chill Span. The incident shocks them, for it is the first murder ever happened in the Moonhaven. Shortly, both of them start searching for the murderer. It does not take them long to arrest and imprison Strigo, the murderer. However, when they visit him in the prison cell for questioning, he attacks them and runs away. Afterwards, we see a heroic character named Bella Sway. She is an experienced pilot who has been tasked to transport Indira Mayer to the Moonhaven on an executive visit. Indira is a high-ranking official on Earth and the envoy of Io. Tom, who is bodyguard of Indra, is also accompanying her for this visit. Before embarking on their journey, Tom makes a little chat with Bella, and the duo get friendly. Soon, Indira arrives, and the trio embark on their journey to the moon. While on the ship, JD, a friend of Bella on Earth, calls Bella and asks her to smuggle Singer, a psychedelic drug from the moon to the Earth. Initially, Bella is hesitant, but on JD's insistence, she agrees. Next we see, the aircraft finally lands on the moon after a long journey. Bella remains in the aircraft while Indira, accompanied by Tom, heads out for a meeting with Council Chair, Maite, the ruler of the Moon Society. Sometime later, Bella spots a bird, nosediving into a surrounding lake, dropping off a package. She heads to retrieve the package and bring it into the aircraft. On opening the package, she finds Singer, the drug JD asked to smuggle to Earth. Just when Bella places the package in a hidden drawer, she notices in the surveillance cameras 2 policemen knocking on the aircraft's doors. Curious to find out what they want, she opens the door and let them in. It turns out that the officers are the same ones who spotted Chill's body. They have come to bring Bella in for some reason best known to them only. Bella is confused as to why she's being asked to come along with them, but nonetheless she obliges. On reaching to their office, she is told that her sister, Chill, has been murdered the day before. However, the news doesn't faze Bella, as she didn't even know of her sister's existence, because her mother had left for the moon right after Bella's birth. Afterwards, Paul takes Bella to meet Chill's adoptive sister, Asus. Asus, who witnessed her sister's murder, had requested to see Bella to pass a message to her. Asus informs Bella about her mother and sister, and then tells Paul that besides her, a second witness was also present at the crime scene. On hearing this, Paul and Bella revisit the crime scene to find any clue. While examining the scene, they spot a figure watching them from the woods. The duo swiftly runs after the stalker. And soon, they reach a wall demarcating the livable human-conducive area from the rest of the moon. Despite Paul's warnings, Bella goes past the wall, crawling through a nearby hole, in pursuit of the stalker. But as she gets outside, she instantly feels dizzy and collapses due to the lack of oxygen in the area. On waking up, she finds herself in an unfamiliar house. On exploring, she finds Paul and his family having lunch and proceeds to join them. Here she comes to learn a bit about their culture on the moon. such as their strange cuisines and the various dances they offer to bereaved families. On her turn, she informed them about Earth and how the people are still living there in terrible circumstances. Meanwhile, Indira, in the meeting with Maite, the council chair, informs her that Io's algorithm is proposing a change of Moonhaven's council authority, despite there being 2 years left in the current administration's term. Maite gets irritated on the news, saying that she has done nothing wrong to deserve her abrupt termination. Indira concurs, but reminds Maite that Io is capable of making accurate predictions of the future, and advises her to quit herself before Earth's top officials take action. In the next scene, Bella, who has returned to the aircraft, notices a system intruder warning on her monitor. As she investigates for the source of the alert, she finds a man named Strigo lurking in a corner, thus she swiftly tases him. But, before she could take ultimate action, Tom interrupts her by calling her to the other end of the aircraft. Bella goes to him, where Tom starts a random but wholesome chat with her. A few minutes later, Strigo also enters the room and informs Tom that the task is completed. This causes Tom's expressions immediately change, and he shoots Strigo, instantly killing him. And soon after, he attacks Bella also. They start fighting. Eventually Tom gets the upper hand. But in a desperate attempt, Bella reaches for the singer and manages to inject Tom with it, making him paralyzed. Then, a frightened Bella walks out of the aircraft and runs into Paul. Seeing Bella in a frightened state, Paul sedates her, causing the former to collapse. On waking up, she finds herself in a tent and instantly panics. While trying to find out an exit, she pushes against one of the tent's sides and falls through, landing in a huge body of water. It turns out that the tent is isolated in a mighty sea. Meanwhile, Indira, who has returned to the spaceship, is holding a virtual meeting with the Earth's Council. She informs them of the recent happenings on the moon, including murders of Chill and Strigo, as well as the attack on Tom. Furious at the turn of events, the Council assumes that Strigo was the one who attacked Tom, which makes them fearful that the Mooners are turning against the Earthers. This fear is especially aggravated in the backdrop of scheduled return of the first batch of Mooners to Earth, to begin its restoration process just in a few days. Indira tries her best to alleviate their fears, assuring them that she is in control of the situation. But the Council is still skeptical on her claims. Elsewhere, Paul takes a boat to visit Bella. But as he enters the tent, she attacks him, assuming he has come there to harm her. However, Paul explains that he only brought her there to keep her safe. And Bella eventually calms down. Unsure of what happened last night, Paul asks her about Strigo and Tom. But Bella lies to him, as she is scared to have him discover that she was the one smuggling Singer. Therefore, she tells him that Strigo was the one who injected Tom with the drug. Paul suspects something amiss, but pretends to believe her story. Before leaving, however, he informs her that Tom is still alive and recovering at the ship, thanks to Io. Elsewhere, Indira pays a visit to Maite's home. She firmly asks her to relinquish her position and pass Io's key to the next council chair. However, adamant on keeping power, Maite rejects her request straight away. Meanwhile, Bella makes her way to another nearby tent. She steals a boat and ultimately reaches shore after paddling it for about an hour. Then she runs around the forest in a bid to return to her aircraft, but soon gets lost and ultimately captured by the Mooners. Then, she is isolated at the city station in a sleep-like state. Coincidentally, Paul also happens to be at the station. He uses advanced technology to search her mind and watches some of her life experiences, especially the wartime, in which she had served as a military pilot. However, since he is not used to such acts of violence, he could not keep watching and turns the feed off. Afterwards, he goes explores her call records and finds her conversation with JD, which confirms her involvement in smuggling of the drug. Therefore, he instantly wakes her from the sleep-like state and brings her in for thorough investigation. Confronted with the damning evidence, Bella comes clean on the smuggling but maintains that she did not inject Tom with Singer. After her confession, Paul takes her to the Moon Council for a trial to decide her fate. During the trial, one council member advocates they put her back to the sleep-like state, while another suggests to just send her back to the earth, where she belongs. However, before they finalize their decision, Paul steps forward and tells the council about what he saw in her memories. He proclaims her a broken soul. He reminds them that the role of Mooners is to save Earth's souls like her. He suggests that the council let her stay under his supervision. The council is moved by his words, and eventually sets Bella free. Paul, now responsible for Bella, takes her to his house. There, she finally reveals everything and admits that she was the one who injected Tom with the singer but did so purely in self-defense. Paul appreciates her honesty and then hands her a bag containing a wooden box, which belonged to her sister, Chill. Inside, she finds a collection of her mother's belongings, including a strange-looking projection gadget. On switching it on, they find a pre-recorded message from Chill, warning them that the Mooners were never going to save the Earth. Chill also mentions that the bridge, meant for transportation of the Mooners to the Earth, is just a trap. The message leaves the duo stunned as they stare at the projection in disbelief. Next morning, Paul visits his colleague, Arlo, in his house to discuss Chill's ominous warning. Paul was panicked at severity of the matter. Arlo comforts and assures him that they will find the truth eventually. On leaving Arlo's house, Paul finds a girl in official uniform, waiting for him outside. She introduces herself as Blue, his assigned apprentice, and silently tails him as he walks away. Elsewhere, Bella goes to meet Indira, and inform her that Tom was a double agent, who is in cohorts with Mooner rebels trying to sabotage the bridge. Recounting what happened on the night of the attack, she tells Indra that Tom tried to kill her because she witnessed Strigo speak to him. However, overconfident Indira does not believe her, declaring that Tom would never betray her. Here, in a flashback to Indira's past, she is seen at an IO training facility, where a teenage Indira meets another student named Basta. The duo instantly hit it off and become best friends. Their stay at the facility has generally been peaceful, until one day the facility is attacked by a group of terrorists. Indira and Basta rush to a hidden room to hide from the armed men, however, one of the men quickly discovers them. Much to Indira's surprise, Basta joins him and leaves, revealing that she is in cohorts with the terrorists. Back in the present, Bella returns to her ship, retrieves Singer package, and returns to show it to Paul. Paul analyzes it but can't find any clue, as it has no distinct markings or symbols. But as Bella mentions that a bird delivered it, he instantly goes wide-eyed, realizing the source. Afterwards, he takes Bella to a craft shop where Mooners make robotic delivery birds. Bella spots a pelican-shaped design, identical to the one that delivered the singer, and stares at its craftsman, Mr. Searle, suspiciously. Sensing the danger, the man hurries out of the shop and dashes into the nearby forest. Bella swiftly chases him in hot pursuit, with Paul trailing behind. Luckily, after a bit of back and forth, they finally capture the craftsman and bring him in for questioning. They ask him who he's working with, but Searle does not cooperate and denies being involved. To bait him, Bella lies that Tom has woken up and going to spill all the secrets of the Mooner rebels. However, Searle remains adamant. Realizing that he would not budge, eventually they allow him to leave. Paul asks Blue to spy on him, just in case he does anything suspicious. Later Paul and Bella are seen engaged in a little argument over the intentions of the Mooners. Bella is certain that some Mooners are trying to sabotage the bridge with the help of Tom, as they want to keep the paradise they established away from Earth. But Paul, who blindly trusts his people, does not see any reason and swears that the Mooners would never do that. In the next scene, Maite and Indira enter the IO authorization chamber. The chamber approves access to foreign aircrafts to enter the Moonhaven. Approval requires authorization from both leaders. Without their unanimous consent, no aircraft can land in the haven. Maite and Indira initiate authorization process in anticipation of the arrival of an aircraft fleet, coming to transport the first batch of Mooners to the Earth. But at the final authorization stage, Maite changes her mind and withdraws her consent. Thus, cancels the endorsement as she storms out of the chamber, giving Indira no explanation. Confused, Indira reports the matter to the Earth Council, who become even more anxious over the situation as patience is running thin on Earth, with humans expecting the Mooners to arrive soon to recuperate the planet. In the next scene, we see Bella, Paul, and his daughter, Elna, walking through the woods, when Paul receives a nearby distress signal from Blue. They swiftly trace the signal and find her lying amongst some shrubs in the forest. She informs them that Cyril caught her stalking him in the woods and tried to kill her. However, she fought back and luckily managed to knock him out. The group helps her up, and they trace Cyril's footsteps to a nearby cave. In the cave, they discover that some Mooners have removed their implants, the small pebble-like trackers that help Io monitor every individual's movements and activities. Thus, they made themselves untraceable. The group brainstorms why they would do this, and concludes that Cyril must have told them about Tom's recovery. Thus, the group realize that the Mooners may be planning to attack Tom. Bella and Paul quickly rush to Indira's house, accompanied by a squad of officers to protect Tom, who is still in a coma. The next morning, a masked Mooner attacks a guarding officer outside the house, sedating her. The rest of the group starts encircling the house, preparing for an ambush. And the episode ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, let us know in the comment if you want us to summarize any of your favorite movie. Thanks for watching. Take care.